Last week, we covered the disorder in the Leeds suburb of Hare Hills. Police face significant violence, including attacks with bricks and missiles while responding to a child protection matter. Now, very shortly, I'll speak to a grooming gang survivor who is now working as a community journalist, and she's been doing some fantastic work in the wake of those riots. And here she is speaking to a local in the aftermath in Hare Hills.
If them people that have been white English people that have been running it and with batons, that have been charging them, that have been horses there, that have got absolutely destroyed. You've seen what they do to, English people when they go down to London and protest peacefully. They all get kettled in, they all get pushed around, abused. It's completely two-tier policing. Everything is two-tier. It matters what colour you are to how the police you. That's simple as that.
Fantastic work, and joining me now is that woman, Sammy Woodhouse, who's a reporter now at Urban Scoop. Sammy, welcome to the show. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. A lot of people will know you best, perhaps, for your astonishingly brave work in exposing the grooming gang scandal. Your part in that, prompting government reports, leading many people to justice. You've spoken out bravely in the past, and now you're doing it again. And you're with Urban Scoop, and you were speaking to locals in the aftermath there in Hare Hills of those astonishing scenes. We saw those riots, the bus burned out. And what struck me about your video now, which has been viewed almost 500,000 times online, is a community that feels neglected, a community that doesn't feel listened to, a community that feels mispoliced, a community that feels second best within Britain, even though they are British and born and bred locally. Sammy Woodhouse, tell me about the deep frustration of forgotten communities like Hare Hills and what they said to you.
Hi, Martin. So, people are really frustrated, and this is something that hasn't just started in the last few days either. So I've been going around talking to people, which are the working class people. You've had people such as politicians, as media, that have absolutely just branded them under, every horrific name under the sun, as racist, as far right, and they're not. So I started speaking to people at events, going back to Telford, which was held by Tommy Robinson. And, there's people that, as I say, the working class, there were survivors, family members, and they're just so frustrated of never having a voice and feeling like second-class citizens. And, they don't feel listened to by media, by politicians. They have no leadership, and they've had enough. So now they're, organising their own protests to get people to come along and to hear what they have to say.
And Sammy, what struck me was a deep frustration, as you pointed out, in not only not being listened to, but being castigated. We're seeing similar scenes in Dublin at the moment. We're seeing similar scenes in Merseyside. We're seeing similar scenes all over the United Kingdom. Very tolerant communities who've been very open. And in fact, some of the people you spoke to in your video, these people, the guy in that video there, he's married to an immigrant. His kids are mixed race. This is not about being racist, but it's about, Sammy, they were telling you time and time again, this is about a lack of integration in those communities up there in Yorkshire.
Yeah, definitely. And as you say, this is something that's happening all over. And the moment you speak about immigration or grooming gangs or anything, you are just branded as far right and racist. And it's just wrong. To want to talk about what's happening in our country and to keep children and women safe doesn't make you far right or racist. It means you're a decent human being that wants to live peacefully, safely. And as we know that, there are people coming over to our country. They've got no idea who they are. There's no birth certificates. They're coming from third world countries. They're going around, they're raping and assaulting children and women. And there seems to be no consequences, and people just don't seem to want to care and put a stop to it. And we need some kind of action, and people are coming together now. There's an upcoming event that I'll also be reporting on, again by Tommy, this Saturday in London. I think there's going to be thousands that attend that. And, people have had enough. And I think they've got a right to be frustrated and to be angry and to want some action.
Now, Sammy, you've obviously had a very traumatic early life. And you've managed to turn that around into something astonishing. You've used your personal experience Do you think that's what makes you so determined to sort of stick up? Because for so often, for so long, you were ignored. Your voice was silenced. Do you think that what's happened to you, that terrible time that's happened to you, has that given you the resolve now to speak out and be a voice for communities that feel like they're also being ignored and forgotten?
Yeah, definitely. Because, you know, when I'm attending these protests, like, you know, the one in Leeds, I am one of them. You know, I am working class. I'm one of those. And when I've been going to the events, I think some people, you know, that recognise me, they know my history, they know that I've not come to, you know, with an agenda or to try and stitch them up anyway. And that's what they feel by mainstream media. You know, we clearly saw ITV turn up to the event and they was very quickly, you know, pushed away. You know, they wasn't welcome. And so I think, or at least I'd like to hope that, you know, when I go along, because I'm one of them, they can trust in that urban school will not, you know, kind of, as I say, kind of stitch them up, because that's exactly what they've had, and edit the videos. And I made it very clear to them, you can say anything that you want. You know, this is your space, it's your platform.
Okay, Sammy Woodhouse, thank you so much for joining us, and the best of luck to you. Keep it up. Great work. Pleasure to have your company. Thank you.